Thanks all for coming out. Appreciate that. And, I'm glad I was second fiddle to the chicken for seconds for everybody there. It is quite good, by the way. So one of the things that you look at when you see television is house hunters. And when you look at what they're doing, 3 houses, half hour, there is no relationship to reality there. That is just not how things go. It would be nice if they did, but usually a production company contacts a real estate agent and says, hey, do you have a buyer that has a property under contract, and would you be interested in being on TV? Most real estate agents are going to go, sure, let's do this. And so they bring out the buyer to the house they already have under contract, and they've got several $1,000s already invested in that usually, at least down payment wise. And then they show them 2 other random houses and go, hey, pick one. House you already have got your dreams set on, or 2 ones that you just happen to look at. So you can't look at TV and think that that's how the housing search or the hunt for your new home is going to go. It's just not related. I'm a second-generation realtor. My mom was a realtor when I was back in the early 80s when interest rates were 18% and people still had to move. So if you recently got a loan for less than that, congratulations, you're doing well. In 2004, I got licensed and got into the industry and decided that I needed to help people. It was just before the dawn of social media, so most real estate agents were spending time actually at their offices. This was before work from home was a reality. At our office, which was 18th in Florida, Steve came in. He would drop by and say, hey, I'm thinking about maybe buying a house. And eventually, we got to talking about, could he afford a house? So we talked to our lender and said, maybe this could work. So we looked around, looked online on a couple of things, and found a spot over in Capitol Heights. And said, all right, let's get in the car. Yep, Big South, I had a car at that time. And so we get rolling over. We're looking for the house. And it took a little longer to find the place. It turns out that, the yard sign that's usually there is laying in the grass. Okay. Open the lockbox, come into the quiet house. It's the middle of the afternoon. And first thing we see is a mattress in the middle of the living room. Now, I know you guys see staging, and it's aspirational staging. It's like, hey, you could live here. This is beautiful. That could be my furniture. That's my wall color now. And, well, a mattress in the middle of the living room doesn't quite have that same impression. And then a little bit closer look, there's a little bag of weed sitting right there. Okay. So we start looking around the house, and we're, it's a small house, a little Cape Cod, and we're just kind of going, all right, this is fine. This could work. Head down to the basement and looking around a little bit, and there's a guy standing in the alcove, quiet as a church mouse, not saying a word, barely breathing, not moving. And I come up on him and go, oh, hey. I'm a little startled. And he's like, hey, the owner wants, I'm caretaking this place. So he picks up a broom and starts sweeping in the basement. Okay, I believe you, sure. I'm new in the industry. It's only a year or so since I've been licensed, and this guy is sweeping in a basement. So if you've ever swept dirt in a basement, you know that dirt just goes everywhere. So we head upstairs, and this guy quickly, deftly picks up his little bag of weed, and he continues sweeping. And Steve and I head out. We're like, okay, enough of this. I contact the listing agent and said, hey, this house isn't quite as empty as you thought. You've got a squatter. Okay. So unfortunately, Steve and I kind of lost contact, and he was unable to purchase something. That was 2004. These days, HPAP, NACA, there's a lot of great programs that the city has to help people with down payment assistance and being able to afford, because it's challenging. Sometimes a client of mine will see a place online, make an appointment to go see it, it's gone. It's already under contract. And not just a contingent contract, it's pending, which means that there's no other conditions or contingencies to be satisfied. These folks who've locked this in the first 2 hours that it's been on the market, they are, they are determined. So that's one of the things that Steve didn't really have, and nowadays motivated buyers are very populous. Fortunately, the market has shifted a little bit lately. Interest rates have gone up, so things have cooled off a little bit, and you can still get a home. I met Dwayne in summer of 2017, and he was very motivated. He had all of his financials together. He had desire. He knew what he wanted, and just as importantly, he knew what he didn't want in a home. So we looked at dozens of places in Northeast and Southeast, and varying conditions, some pretty rough, others pretty decent. Ended up putting 4 offers on places, and we're close to ratifying on one of them, and the seller dropped out. That's weird. What, you wanted to sell this house and now all of a sudden you don't? Okay, so eventually we continued to see houses, found one in Dwayne's preferred neighborhood. And it was a foreclosure, so it was in some condition issues. He'd already lined up his lender. We'd had a title company already planned. And all these are team players that you need to get to know and have to be on the same page to get to the goal, which is getting your own home. It's not right for everybody, but for most people who come this far, you have to have it all lined up. So one of the things that the lender insisted upon was having a home inspection, and that it meets certain standards for safety, and that the home inspector who came in was really invested in Dwayne getting this place. I mean, he's like, do this, don't do that, do this. So the inspection report went out, and with the lender saying, hey, look, you got to do this, and the seller going, we're not doing anything. It was kind of left to us to try to make these two ends meet. And eventually, with the silent approval of the listing agent, who goes, I don't know what happens, just if something happens, great, we're good. We went in there and fixed a few things. I had my HVAC guy come out. After a couple of trips to different hardware stores and a couple of hours spent mostly in the basement, again, got things up to speed. Inspector comes back out and says, hey, great, I think you can proceed. He tells the lender this, and the lender's like, great, we have a different problem. The appraisal came in low. Oh, that's not really a problem. They'll lower the price, and we'll get this price reduced a little bit. It's only a couple $1,000s, but still, every penny counts. So you need to have a lot of people in your corner to have this process go forward. And it's challenging. And if somebody has a crisis of confidence or faith in what their goal is, they're probably not going to make it, and probably shouldn't at that time. You have to choose your spots. And when I was working with Dwayne, he knew there was never any doubt this was the right move for him. Thank you.